Peace, sisters. Good morning and welcome. I put this video together, this audio vlog, I'll call it, just to say good morning to you and to let you guys know that we will be hosting a temple service of sorts today on the Angry Devas radio show. I wanted to share something with you, sisters, that I wrote this morning, and I think it's important that we define for ourselves and that we really be honest with ourselves and with each other about things that are going on. And I had an experience recently that got me to thinking about, the mother wound. And if you're not familiar with it, if you go on the Angry Devas fan page on Facebook, and if you pay attention in the link underneath the video in this newsletter I sent you, you will see a link from our blog where I share with you guys the series that we did. We did a 3-part series on mother wounds, on the breaking of the mother and the daughter, and on the reason why women raise their daughters but love their sons. And so anyway, I had this experience, and it got me to thinking about that. And go and make sure you listen to those shows so you can kind of be familiar with what I'm talking about here. But I wrote this thing, and I put it in our Angry Devas dictionary, and it's on the page. And so here's what I wrote. Diva Dictionary: emotional retardation. Emotional retardation occurs when what you want or need is deemed unimportant by those who promise that you matter to them. Heal that by mattering to your damn self. I'm up and writing about this after a recent interaction with a DBR female. This sister goes around to folks trying to incite riots, but she is very cunning and subtle with how she carries it out. Part of me respects it. Part of me disdains her for it and her type as well. When you're a genuine person and you encounter fake wenches, yeah, it'll rub you the wrong way. This type of woman, the emotionally retarded, is very prevalent in the black community and in the world, period. Cross-race and gender emotionally retarded folks are damaged beyond repair. They have to fix themselves. There's nothing that you can say or invest in her or him that can help. Knowing that she or he benefits from an air of being perceived as naive or young, in this particular case, the DBR female tries to prevail upon sisterhood to cover her true intentions. She comes under the guise of respect and honor, under the guise of wanting to learn and grow. But truly she is DBR, or damage beyond repair. A psychopathic, narcissistic, and emotionally retarded being. Now, there is medicine and poison in everything. While I respect that black women are being less emotional and more calculating, I do not respect women who are DBR, emotionally retarded beings. The cause of this is often their mothers. I know it was my mother who created the emotional retardations within me. This disconnected me from my feelings and invalidated my right to feel at all. This is one of the many consequences of the mother wound. Well, today's show, I'm going to talk so much more about that. And I'll make sure that I put a written copy of this as well. But in today's show, our Dark Godis Soulday show that we're going to do, I want to talk about these mother wounds, and I want to talk about the reason why sisterhood is just simply impossible with black women. Because we don't know how to conduct ourselves. There's nothing sacred. I share something with you, you run to the next one, and I've shared it within the confidence of our connection, and you go and you take it to this one and that one and the other one. And I've seen these things in myself and had to check these things in myself. I know where it comes from. I know exactly where it comes from. It's bad training. It is bad training. It is the result of not having a mother who is invested in your highest good and your best interest, but was more so invested in owning you, controlling you, and acting as if only she was worthy of any praise or any glory. Anything you did had to be to her liking. You existed solely to serve her. But even your service was not honored. See, we have this, I don't know if you guys grew up Christian, but I did. And there's this scripture in Ephesians, the letter written to the temple in Ephesus. And I think it's chapter 10. You know what? I'm going to do it right while we're talking. Why not, right? I'll let you know that these are not scripted videos. I just kind of flow. With everything that I do, I just kind of flow. And this just came to me. So, no, I don't want 6:10 through 20. That's usually what I go to. So my computer picked up on the Bible Gateway Ephesians 6:10 through 20 because usually I go to the armor of God. That's usually where I go. Right to the particular scripture, and I just want to see that. Anyway, Ephesians 6, chapter 6, verse 1. And this is the wrong version. I don't know about you, but I need my mama's version, my grandmama's Bible. If it ain't grandmama's old King James version, I don't know what they're saying. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. And, ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of God. Parents remember that honor your mother and father as your days will be long on the earth, but they forget that they're held to a certain standard as well. You cannot provoke your children to wrath. You cannot be the person who dishonors your own child. You can't be that person. What does wrath mean? We're talking about extreme anger. My mother did that to me. You know, Angry Devas has been a long time making. That's why I put this together, because when I had a sister say to me, it was a sister, she was a white woman who claimed part Native, and actually she was part Native, but you know what they say when they say that. I don't agree with any of it, because the true Natives are us, we blacks who are said to be slaves. We were not slaves. We were the Native American people. We had crossed over and come here, and we are the Native people. I do not believe in the story that they told us. You believe what you want, but that's just not how I roll. Anyway, it was this sister, and she claimed to be part Alaskan Native. And she said to me, "You're very angry." I remember when I was that angry. I was angry with everything, with everyone. I didn't understand what had happened in my life. I didn't understand why my mother was so evil and vindictive and jealous and nasty. And I was angry. She said she was seething. And when she said that to me, I just looked at her and I said, I just so strongly resent, this was back in 2007, I just so strongly resent that the only thing that we black women ever get said to feel is anger. I said, and my voice broke. I started crying. She looked puzzled, because she just knew I was just this pissed off bitch, you know. I said, anger is secondary, and anybody who understands basic psychology knows that. It's a secondary reaction. It's not even an emotion. It's a reaction. You are reacting. You are taking another action. This time the action will be strong. It will be extreme. It will be cutthroat. It will be without any mercy. That's anger. But it's secondary. Primary is pain and hurt and fear and not trusting and not being open to your feminine and not being able to connect to yourself, not understanding who you are, not knowing who the fuck you are too. It takes real work and real courage to even know that. I didn't see that then, but I do see it now. That it was very courageous of me to not only stand up to this white woman claiming to be Native, that as a black woman that I was more than just angry. Maybe she was angry, and that's fine for her, but there was more than just anger for me. There was a lot of pain and disappointment and betrayal. Deep fucking betrayal, like the life you will never understand unless you've been there. I ain't talking about your stupid man cheated on you betrayal. That's bullshit. I'm talking about real betrayal. I'm talking about the kind of things that people hear about and gasp, but like, what? Who? How could? What? I can't believe that. The kind of things people disbelieve because it just sounds like it came out of the story. Not your stupid man cheated on you, your best friend stopped talking to you, and dated the guy you was hotting for. None of that stupid shit. I'm talking about real betrayal. I'm talking about financial sabotage, emotional sabotage, sexual sabotage, spiritual sabotage, cursing. I'm talking about real warfare and real betrayal. And many of us can identify with that. We've been through that. We've had warfare in our life. We've had real bad situations go on. You've been through car accidents. You've lost loved ones. You've taken ill. You've watched all your wealth dry up in a heartbeat. Maybe you lost your home or your job. Maybe you lost your mom. Maybe a child died. A real betrayal because it's not the life you dreamed. You were raped or molested or fondled or some way harassed. This is not the life you dreamed. This is not according to your value. And that is wrath. That produces wrath, extreme anger, a fierce anger, a deeply resentful indignation, ire. It produces that. So how do we move through it? What do we do with that? Well, you know that's part of my work. And that's why I created Angry Devas. Actually, I guess that's why Angry Devas created me. I say that now more often than I'm trying to make sure whenever I say that's why I created Angry Devas that I correct myself. That's why Angry Devas created me. And I created it and it created me. And it's a tandem dance. It's a tandem dance because this is a development of myself and also being able to help my sisters. When one teaches, two learn. And I'm just thankful that you guys are present, helping me to be able to learn as well as I teach. I'm really appreciative of that. You don't have to listen to the shows or read my crazy-ass writings or any of the things that I do, but you do. You do. You realize that there's something more than just anger. And thank you for not being prejudiced and stupid and ignorant. Kudos to you for rocking with the kid. So this Sunday, today, let me make sure I got myself right, we're going to do a Dark Goddess Soulday show. And it'll be live on the Angry Devas radio show, but it will not be called the Angry Devas radio show. It's the Dark Goddess Soulday. I'm actually going to go ahead and make some new intros for the day and everything. I hope y'all like them. And come through and let's talk about these emotional retardations, the spiritual retardations, the physical, even sometimes retardations, the sexual retardations, the breakages in us that are divine to keep us small enough to fit into this patriarchal world. If we were standing in divinity, if there was no brokenness of the mind, the heart, the spirit, the soul, the yoni, our sexuality, our spirituality, if there were none of these things, we would be standing in the divine feminine that we are. But this entire system has been put together to keep us wounded. So we are the wounded feminine, not the divine feminine. Because if we're wounded, we're small enough to fit in the world. If we're in divinity, we're going to change that motherfucker. And they do not want that. They want us all to be good little cows. Go ahead on, get your husband, let him cow poke you and breed you, stud you out, and be a good little wench. Don't buck against the system. Don't define for yourself. Don't name it. Don't dare talk about it. Run from it. Shame everybody else who dares to talk about it, because then it means you don't have to. Well, if that's where you are, stay over there. But for the rest of us, for the whosoever will, let her come for that rare 1 in 4 black women that are actually going to make it out of this. Thank you. And come on into the divine feminine temple. We're going to have pie, ether pie, good tea, good laughs, good music, and a whole lot of good chat. I'm looking forward to sharing with my sisters. It's been a while. I've been under the weather, and I appreciate you guys being patient with me. You don't have to do what the hell I do, because I'm God of Angry Devas. If Diva don't move, ain't shit happening. But I will see you guys in a couple of hours live on the show. I think I'll book it for either 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern Time. but the details will be on the page. Thank you. Peace.